Okay, so here's another example that we're going to take a look at for contextualization. It's the same question as the previous one about urban development in Afro-Eurasia between 400 and 1450 CE. So let's take a look at what they said. During the period 400 to 1450 CE, many empires declined, but these declining empires led to changes in urban development in Afro-Eurasia. Examples of these empires include the Romans and the Han Dynasty in China. The fall of the Han Dynasty led to a rise in the Tang Song Dynasty later on. With these two big empires falling, it made other empires realize what not to do in order to not fall. So as far as contextualization goes, this actually does provide some contextualization. So it does talk about that the decline of empires led to changes in urban development in Afro-Eurasia during that period involved, and it actually mentions the Romans and the Han Dynasty. But here is the problem with this one. The problem is that those are specifically the two examples that this person is going to use as evidence in their paper or in their essay. If you go on to read the body of the essay, it talks about the Roman Empire and the Han Dynasty. So if you look at that paragraph, the time period 400 to 1450 AD saw many empires rise and fall. In China, they had an empire fall and rise, with the Han Dynasty falling and the Tang Song Dynasty rising. In the Roman Empire, they fell in the year 476, but was one of the biggest empires until their decline. During this time period, you gained power by gaining more and more land. So this is why the Hans and the Romans were so powerful. This was until they lost control of their land because there was too much to keep in line, so this was the main cause of their decline. For example, the Roman Empire expanded into northern Africa, and that was across the Mediterranean Sea from central Rome. It is clear that the expansion of the empires was really the biggest reason for their fall, even though it seems like the best thing possible for an up-and-coming empire. And the concluding sentence, these reasons for why they fell were also a way that they would have a change in urban development. So as you can see, the contextualization that they provide in their introductory paragraph is in fact their evidence that they're using. And according to College Board, you cannot get a point for both contextualization and evidence if they're the same thing. You have to provide separate contextualization from your evidence. So they would need to have talked about something else besides the Romans and the Han Dynasty in China in order to get credit for both.